And that was The End of the Beginning by Russell Morris, his latest single. As coincidence often occurs at this time of the day, we play a song and the man pops up. Russell Morris, welcome back to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show.
Neil, it's great to be with you, mate. Fantastic. I'm sitting here in Melbourne, and boy, it's cold down here at the moment.
So we should let people know that we're pre-recording this on the Tuesday because otherwise people wonder why Rob's not saying anything. Rob sends his kindest regards. This conversation, Russell, it's a celebration tinged with a bit of sadness. This is it in terms of your touring.
Yes, I won't tour anymore. I've done it for too long. I've done it since 1968. And there were times that I had a bit of time off when I was overseas. But every year I would tour, and probably, except for the 80s when I really starved almost. But when I started touring again, I really would take off 10 days a year. That was about it. And that's been going on for forever. So, and I figure music's changed a little bit. There are no definitive sounds of today. Like you look at the 20s, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they all, 2000s, they always had a sound.
Yeah.
You even going back to Charleston, the Charleston era, then you go to the Frank Sinatra and the Nat King Cole, then you go to the Bill Haley, Elvis Presley, rock and roll era, then the 60s, and it just goes, but there's no sound to me. And record stores disappearing have really has disappointed me. So I reckon I've done it all, and I've been really happy with what I've achieved. And I've really been very, very grateful to everyone that's supported me, like yourself, and people that have come out. And I'll still record, but that'll be it.
Yeah, and I guess the thing that this obviously doesn't, I don't want to sort of embarrass you, but, I have very vague recollections of you when I was a kid because I'm a little bit younger than you are, and you were a pop star, if you like. You started off obviously with somebody's image and then you moved into being Russell Morris, but you've changed along the way with music, haven't you? There's a lot of people out there who are still playing what they did in the 60s, and yet you've been able to reinvent yourself several different ways along the way.
Well, it's sort of a necessity for me. I cannot do the same thing over and over again. Like, I can't get up every day. This is just an analogy or a metaphor, because I can't get up every day and have the same meal. I can't have a steak and chips for dinner every night. I would go crazy. I've got to have variety in my life. Yeah. Same thing goes with my music. I really can't do anything to the exclusion of everything else. I can do it for a while, and then I get a little bit tired of it, and I want to do something else. And music is music. Music's great. There's good music and bad music. I try to do the good.
Yeah, and I guess the easy thing to do, as you say, probably boring, but the easy thing to do would be just churn out the same hits all the time, and people go, oh, I'm going along to watch that same DVD that I watched last time I saw Russell live. And I guess what the great thing is with the tour that you're about to do, we've really got a sense that we might get something out of the mid-'60s, and we might get something as recent as something that came out in April.
That's you've hit that on the head, Neil, right on the head. We decided when we did the tour, I didn't pick the songs. So if anyone's got any complaints, I've got the phone number and the address of the producer, and you can settle it with him. He picked the songs, but we tried to pick something from every era. So the thing has a broad spectrum, and there are going to be some incredible surprises for people who would never, because there are 4 songs that I've never, ever actually played live.
Okay. I hope you know the chords.
So that will be really, well, I don't have to play the chords, which is fortunate. I just have to remember the words and not bump into the furniture.
No, fair enough too. So the last concert tour that you did that was quite significant, I guess, was the symphonic orchestra version. That must have been one of the great highlights of your touring life.
Yeah, if you go back over my touring life, the highlights are, well, there was The Real Thing, the gold record, then also coming along and doing the blues albums, which was just lovely for me because I went back to what I started doing before Molly started managing somebody's image and then myself. And then along came the orchestra shows, and that was just absolutely phenomenal. I didn't realise that playing live could be so much joy. Like to have a 56-piece orchestra behind you is quite an amazing feeling. It's like sitting. The way I described it to people was like sitting on the front of an express train.
And I think the last time we spoke to you on Two Blokes Chatting, you had just done those shows, and you're telling us that you would, the orchestra and you would actually meet on effectively on the morning of the show. You were basically getting a different orchestra in each place.
Yes, so it was a big ask for me, because I would get there and we would have to do a full show. Excuse me, because there were things that the conductor had to point out to the orchestra, so they had to play them. And I didn't want to stand there like a wimp, so I would sing the whole show.
Wow.
And then we would do another show that night. So I was doing 2 shows a day, full shows, and those people hadn't played. They hadn't done anything before with me. So they're such good readers and such good sort of musicians that they were able to do that with the aid of a brilliant conductor and brilliant arrangements from Peter Morris was the conductor, and of course the incredible David Hirschfelder was the arranger, and he is a genius. He's just incredible.
Now, at the end of our conversation, I'm actually going to play a track from the album that came out. The album's available on CD, vinyl and DVD, isn't it, Russ?
Yes, it is, yeah.
So you can not only hear, you can actually see what a handsome fella you are as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy it for the kiddies. It might be a bit scary for them. Don't let them look at it.
It could be worse. It could be a photo of Rob and me.
If I could have performed with a paper bag over my head, I would have. But the problem is you've got to get up there and do it. And I'm the frog that comes out of the water.
So, looking back over the period, you've obviously produced an enormous amount of music and on vinyl, on CD, downloads, all that sort of stuff. Is there one album that you really wished people had heard a bit more than they actually did?
Oh, yes, definitely. There's 2. One is Jumpstart Diary, which I thought was my best sort of album.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the songs were about relationships, and I think people did want to hear me sing about relationships.
Yep.
And then 1,000 Suns was the other one.
Well, as fate would have it, and I promise you, Russell, we spoke about this before we started chatting. I am actually going to take a break now and play a song from the aforementioned Jumpstart Diary. Russell and I first met in 2010, and after that conversation in a different radio studio in a different city, you gave me a copy of that CD, signed and everything. So it's in pride of place. I've dragged it out today so that we can have a listen to one of the tracks. It's a song called Get Your Mind Right. Here is Russell Morris. So that's Get Your Mind Right from the really, really good album, Jumpstart Diary by Russell Morris. I'm actually talking to Russell. Now, Russell, the reason we've brought you in today to have a conversation is to talk about the tour that you are doing. You're coming to the most beautiful city in the world down here in Geelong shortly, but you're going literally all over Australia. It's a big, daunting task ahead of you, but one that I suspect you're really looking forward to.
I am. I think it will really be an interesting experience for me, because we're doing things very differently a little bit, and it'll be hard because I'm thinking, well, this is the end, but as I wrote that song, with every end is a beginning. So I'm really looking very much forward to performing some of the songs that I've actually never ever sung. So that will be. I've sung them in the recording studio,
yeah,
but I've never sung them on stage.
Well,
so that will be fascinating for me to see how they're received and all that sort of stuff.
Well, by the time people are hearing this, you will have sung them on stage because you will have been in Bendigo on Thursday night. But I guess the thing too, I've seen you in the Piano Bar in Geelong. I've seen you at the Shopping Town Hotel with your good mates, sadly no longer with us, Jimmy Keys and Daryl Cotton. And, we've seen you at the Hamer Hall with a symphonic orchestra behind you. Give us a sense of what people will see on stage this time round in terms of backup and style. Well,
it'll be like a 14-piece band, and We've got two percussionists. We've got one of the guys is a multi-instrumentalist. He can play everything. And we've got a couple of singers. We've got strings. We've got... so it'll be quite an array of people on stage. And it should be good.
I'm glad you're not...
Excuse me, I was just chewing on something.
That's okay. We're interrupting Russ's breakfast, folks, by the way, in case you're wondering why every now and again there's a pause. Well, last time we saw you play in Geelong, I saw you at the piano bar, and I think the keyboard player had to sit at the back of the room, such was the size of the stage. The good news at Costa Hall, the stage is a bit larger, and you will be able to get everyone on there.
I would say so. Well, that keyboard player was also our mixer.
Oh, okay.
The guy was absolutely sensational. So he had to set up the back to mix to hear what it sounded like out the front, but he was also a very good keyboard player.
Yeah.
So we put him to work. So he really had to work for his money.
Well, at least that way you had a bit more space on stage. I'm assuming that Pete Robinson will be with you?
No, Pete's not with us.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, Peter's going to Europe to work with Electric Mary.
Okay.
So we've seconded Danny Spencer, who's Jimmy Barnes' guitar player.
Oh, well, he's got a few runs on the board then, I would have thought.
He has got a few runs on the board.
So let's have a look at the tour dates.
So it should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at the tour dates ahead of us because we've got people listening all over Australia, Russell. I'm going to say that even if that's not true. You were in Bendigo on Thursday night. So, folks, if you're in Bendigo and listening to this, sorry, bad luck. Next up is Sunday, tomorrow, in Adelaide, and then off to Newcastle Thursday, Perth on Saturday, Mandurah on Sunday the 10th. Then you're going to a little town called Geelong on Friday the 15th. Now, before we had this conversation, I just checked tickets. There is literally one ticket left on the floor, and there are limited tickets up in the balcony and on the side. So, folks, if you want to see this bloke sing, jump on, not after we're finished, right now, jump on and get your tickets. There's not many left in Geelong.
No, it's everywhere looks like it'll be sold out. So we're pretty excited. I think our last bastions to sell out now are Canberra and Perth.
So Canberra, 21st of August. Brisbane, 2 shows in Brisbane. One at 7 p.m. On Friday the 22nd of August and 3 p.m. on the same day. So that's a matinee kind of event at QPAC. Tweed Heads, a couple of shows. One sold out, one new show on sale. Now in Melbourne, you're going to be a bit busy in Melbourne. Wednesday the 27th of August at 7 p.m. sold out. That's the one I'm going to. Thursday the 28th of August, that's the next day, 7 p.m. sold out. But just because you haven't got enough to do when you're here, on that Thursday afternoon, 3 p.m. So you'll be doing 3 shows in the space of 24 hours.
Yeah, I think what we're doing is 2 lots of shows where we do 5 shows in a row.
Yep.
So the promoter was really worried. He said, "Do you think you can do this?" And I said, "Well, you'll never know until we try."
Absolutely. So, and by the time you get to Thursday at night, you're going to know the Melbourne stage really well and everything. And then off to Thirroul on the central coast of New South Wales, and then finishing it up at Sydney Opera House on Sunday the 7th of September. So it's also, not only is it lots of dates, it's jammed into a pretty short period.
It is a short period. It's good. Get it over and done with. While everything is fresh in everyone's minds, there's nothing worse than doing something for 2 months or something, and then 2 months later you do it again because you've got to refresh.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because I know that with the Caprettos, because when I didn't work with the Caprettos for a long time, I had to go back just recently and work with them, and I had to refresh everything.
Yeah.
I had to go over the songs. I'm thinking, I can't remember this.
And Sydney Opera House seems like a really appropriate spot, the iconic location in Australia. I actually saw you along with 2 or 3 others, I think Jack Jones, maybe Ray Thistlethwaite, playing Abbey Road and Sergeant Pepper at Sydney Opera House in 2016. It's just a great stage and suits your voice beautifully.
It's a wonderful stage. It's an incredible honour to be able to play at the Opera House. You know, you walk in there and you know how iconic the building is and how magnificent So many magnificent acts have been there before. So that's a wonderful honour, and the dressing rooms are incredible. You go up into the dressing rooms, and you've got these long horizontal windows that just look straight out onto the bridge and the harbour, and it's just like, wow, this is special. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary. I was fortunate enough to be living in Sydney at the time, and I did a very Sydney thing. Jump on the ferry, came across to Circular Quay, and walked around. It was just magnificent. Russ, we should let you go and finish your breakfast. We didn't want to let this opportunity go by. Now, you are dedicated as a friend of the show, because once you've been on the show twice, you become a friend of the show. But I spoke to Rob this morning, and we have decided that there needs to be a special category for people like you who are absolute legends of Australian music, but have also been prepared to come and spend some time with the community radio likes of Rob and I. So you are our inaugural legendary friend of the show, and we are eternally grateful for your participation in our program.
Oh, thanks, mate. And you know you can always ring me, even when I'm not doing anything. Yeah, just say how many fish I've caught or something.
Now, it's not too much. I don't think we're giving away too much to say that you've moved to Queensland and enjoying a lifestyle up there.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
I'm a lazy guy. I like to sit and watch the sunset and watch TV. I can watch sport all day, and I like to have a little boat and just go fishing and hang out. It's good. So I'll do a lot of that. Yeah.
I'm surprised you still like watching sport as a Richmond supporter, but let's not go too far down that path, hey?
Oh, hang on. We've got some good stuff coming up. There's some young boys that are going to be really good next year. They've showed a little bit this year, and everyone said we wouldn't win a game.
Yeah, they are looking
back.
But
4, so.
Yeah, we'll see. Of course, my lot, as people have won a premiership within the last 12 months, and it's looking a bit dusty at the minute this week. But hey, you never know. We might win 2 in a row.
You never know. It's funny. I before we won ours,
yep,
I didn't think we had a hope. My son was cursing me and saying, "You forced me to watch Richmond, and we're never going to win a premiership. We're going to be on the bottom all our life." And then within 2 years, they won a premiership, and we were both at the game, and we both started crying. It was fantastic. It's been such a long time.
Yeah, well, I was 39 when I saw my lot win their first one, and I can remember my son as a 7-year-old tugging the sleeve of my jumper going, "Why are you crying, Daddy?" But you don't really appreciate it until that happens to Russell Morris. It has been an absolute thrill to have you as part of our program. We will most certainly keep in touch. Maybe a cold beer on the Gold Coast at some stage. That would be great. But Russ, I'm going to, before we introduce the song Rachel from the Real Thing Symphonic Orchestra, I just want to say one thing. I won't say goodbye. I'll just say so long.
Thanks, mate. Exactly. Yeah.
Russell Morris, great to have you on the show, and all the very best with the tour and all the very best with what lies ahead.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, mate.
There he is, Russell Morris, and here is from his Symphonic Orchestra album, Rachel.